the grind. Yeah, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. Welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. How you doing, Nasties? What are we going to talk about as the Oilers get in on the trade action a few days before the deadline? So we're very excited. Bring in an injured player, an AHLer.
You're excited.
And some other dude. We'll get to all of it. Of course, fun show coming up. Known Calvin Pickard hater, Joaquin Gage in the house. We got Brendan Eric on the 1 and 2s once again, bringing us in with some nice PM Dawn. I like it. And of course, I'm Hernan Salas. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat if you're watching on the YouTube channel. Slam that thumbs up for Trent Frederic. Did you like the trade by the Edmonton Oilers? If you did, you better slam that thumbs up. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Fun show, of course. We're going to tee up Oilers Ducks. They're finally home. Seems like it's been forever since they've been at home. They're looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since February 4th and 5th when they won both those games in OT. At 1:20, we'll have our Trade Watch segment presented by Nate's Construction and Leadership Supervision Program. At 2 o'clock, we've had a lot of resumes come in for our F1 Fantasy League, and we're going to read about 3 or 4 of them. One guy outdid himself.
Yeah.
He sent us a PowerPoint. It was outstanding with pictures and designs, and I just couldn't believe it. It was outstanding. So we're going to read a few. We're not going to give the names out, right? We'll keep that on the down low, but we will read a few and see who's going to get our vote, Gager. A lot of good ones. Some need some work, for sure. But we'll get to all of them here on EST Afternoons. And at 2:20, we will talk to Derek Lee from the Hockey News. He covers the Anaheim Ducks. We'll get a good idea what's up with the Ducks. They've been a little bit hot lately. I know they lost their last game out, but they're 6 points out of a wild card spot. They're getting Trevor Zegras back as he is done his suspension. But all in all, it's going to be a great, great show. Like I said, slam that thumbs up if you like Trent Frederic. Joaquin, let's do this first. This is the trade, okay? Just in case you missed it, because it broke on the Lock Shop. Great job tuning into the Lock Shop with Dusty and Huss. Huss hates Trent Frederic.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
He does not like him. So, and then great job on two guys with you three jabronis always bring the heat. Trade 1, Boston Bruins trade Trent Frederic, 50% salary retained to New Jersey Devils in exchange for an unsigned draft choice, Petr Hauser. Trade number 2, New Jersey trades Trent Frederic, 50% salary retained to Edmonton in exchange for unsigned draft choice, Shane Lachance. Trade 3, Boston trades Mac Jones and unsigned draft choice, Petr Hauser, to Edmonton in exchange for Max Wanner, St. Louis' second-round pick in 2025, obviously owned by Edmonton, and Edmonton's own fourth-round selection in 2026. Joaquin, when this trade was breaking, we're all hanging out in the bullpen like, oh, yeah, Elliott has this, and Cirelli's saying this, and you were not impressed.
Well, no, because I thought that the Oilers need help in a different area. More so than, I'm not saying they didn't address an issue.
Yeah.
But then you find out that this guy might not play till playoffs. And then I'm really poo-pooing on this whole thing. Because look, and it didn't cost a ton, I realize that, but there were some prospects in there. And the reason why you want to be a little bit proactive with trades is start to, get that chemistry soup going and try to let the coaching staff have enough runway to try to find where this guy is situated best within the lineup, right? And it looks like he's, we were going over a few different line combinations that tickled our fancy with the Oilers when he eventually he does get in the lineup, and if Evander Kane is like Frederic, Kane, and Perry are a very interesting combo to get into a playoff series where it could that could turn the tide or just provide a little bit of fear into your opponents when they hit the ice, getting the crowd into it. So there's something there, but I still just think that the real area of concern for the Edmonton Oilers right now is a top 3-4 D-man. That's.
I don't disagree. That's priority number one.
Well, you told me to go home when I came in here.
So Trent Frederic scored 18 goals last season, 17 the year before. He can drop the mitts. He's like a middleweight, right? He brings a lot of energy. He's tough to play. I like the player. I do, because he brings something this team lacks a lot outside of Corey Perry, which is toughness, physicality. He can score. He's having a down year, 100%. He's only at 15 points, 8 goals. He's a minus 14 so far this year.
Sounds good.
But like you said, it's not like we're keeping track of Boston and who's hurt. And then we see, wait, he might not be ready till the playoffs. And this is what concerns me. And it's the same. Everybody's complaining about Evander Kane. He's not going to be up to speed. This guy, if he's not ready to go till the playoffs, I'm worried about the chemistry. You just don't drop into a game one of the playoffs with new line mates. Like, he's going to be here. He's going to know the guys. I get that. There might be some chemistry off the ice. But on the ice, Gager, doesn't that concern you just a tad?
Massively.
Okay.
They had to have known he was injured, and the possibilities
100%.
And maybe that, like, the conspiracy theorist in me, I guess, looks at it and goes, okay, so we get a guy that we can play in playoffs that has that sandpaper, and we know that Evander's not back to playoffs. This guy's not back to playoffs. Now we have a bunch of extra cap room. Now we really can focus in on that other D-man, and we've kind of we kind of have everything that we need now, right? Maybe that was the whole, the behind the scenes and looking at everything, and that's why this whole thing was set into motion. But like you said, man, you come into a new team, having an off year, like you said, putting a little bit more pressure on himself, not allowing him to kind of grow organically with the team. And who knows where he suits best. Maybe it is the top 6, right? So
maybe
to me, it just seems puzzling why you wouldn't try to get that type of player, because you can't tell me there's not other players like Frederic, okay? That type of player to get and put into your lineup by the weekend and see what you got.
That's what I mean. You want to give this guy a little bit of runway with the team, see where he's going to fit in. Now let's just say worst case scenario, he's not playing till game 1. Then you're trying him out again. Like, okay, where does he fit?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not fitting with this guy. Let's try him here. And then the playoffs is not a place to try things out.
What happens if Oilers are on a heater, 10 games? And so all of a sudden you're popping a guy out that probably was, maybe not an integral part, but a part of the Edmonton Oilers' success. And now you're disrupting the chemistry that you already have to find on a question mark. Essentially, is this guy going to work? I mean, this is a completely hypothetical situation, but there's just so many different variables that can happen right now. The best thing that you could have done is get a guy that you could play right now. To me, that's.
Yeah, so I think we like the player. We just don't like the situation that he's coming. Like, IR, sure, you can use his money. He's not costing the Oilers. I think it's $575K, which is pretty good, Gager, for a guy. And I know he was on a lot of people's list here in Edmonton. They wanted him. But again, like, I just may possibly not being ready till the playoffs concerns me. I'm sorry. Yes, he's a hell of a third line. He can probably moonlight in your top 6, like Gager said. He probably can and protect the big boys and help Corey Perry out so he doesn't have to fight as a 40-year-old. But, man, not being ready till the playoffs, kind of, it's a little bit bittersweet, isn't it?
VR Montenegro. Down year, he'll fit right in.
Yeah, the bar is not high here for guys not named Draisaitls. Oh, he's gonna fit right in.
That's terrible.
I'll be honest, and I'm kind of a stickler for this, and I know picks down the road, and this team's here to compete. I get it, and I'm fine with it. But a second rounder Maximus Warner for Max Jones? Like, are we like? And I know it's all at the end. We're all gonna bring all these three trades together, but it just seems like the Oilers did give up a little bit too much here. I mean, a second round pick. Who knows what that turns out to be? It might not. It might not be nothing. It could be everything. Who knows? Maximus Warner. I know a lot of Oiler fans that have watched him a lot more than I have are really high on this kid. So it seems like you don't want this guy to turn into another Kessler ring or guys that have moved on without even getting a look at them.
And look, I'll admit, the only time I watched that guy is like a little bit in the rookie tournament in Kelowna, like just some stuff that he was doing, and because it was on Oilers Plus, and he was by far like heads and shoulders above every other Oiler prospect at that. Like he was really good, and it's not the NHL, I realize that, but he's playing against very hungry young hockey players, all trying to get noticed, and he stood out more than anyone else.
And a lot of people are saying, but it's a salary. I get that. And I know why you got to give up some picks, and sometimes they're a little bit higher than you would want. So I understand that. I don't know. Do you agree with Gager and I, where it's kind of bittersweet that we're not going to see this guy maybe in the last 5 games? Evander Kane all over again, Gager. I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah,
it's not ideal situation. Exciting player, but 2 months till he plays, really? Or a month and a half, whatever you want to call it. I think that put a little downer on it for me because you don't know where he's going to fit in. And I don't think they're done. I don't. I think they're going to – I think we're going to know right away what's going to happen with Kane and go from there. But I think the Oilers are going to add one. And a lot of media that are a lot closer to the team and know a lot more than you and I are saying it's going to be a depth defenseman.
Well, maybe you. Hey, don't.
Which I think also, Joaquin – if you're right here, I would have given you a nice if they just go out and get another depth defenseman, I think they failed.
That's a fail.
That's a fail in my eyes. You don't need another depth defenseman. For what? For what? To rotate Klimberg and Stetcher and this guy? No, you need to upgrade your defense. You're not going anywhere in the playoffs. And I know a lot of people are saying, go get a goalie. That's not happening.
No.
That's not happy, especially with this trade going down. No, never say never. You never know. I'll give it a very, 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 very slim chance, but it's not going to happen, Oiler fans. And
Frederic, is he I haven't watched enough of him to play. You seem to have a little bit more of a grasp.
Yeah.
Is he and I'm just doing this to rile the feathers of Oilers fans, is he kind of in the Dylan Holloway mold?
No. Probably not as smooth a skater. Dylan Holloway probably has more offense, but this guy, like I said, scoring 17, 18 goals in the NHL.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's impressive for a third liner.
I think the difference with him and Holloway probably not as fast, and this guy's way more physical. And this guy will fight.
Oh,
like he'll fight the Tanner Genots of the world. Like he'll fight the Brady Kachucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he's fighting Rempe. Actually, I wouldn't put it past him, but that's the one. John Carlos says Brandon Carlo or Jamie Oleksiak would be nice. Brandon Carlo's, I don't think, realistic. Oleksiak, I mean, why is Dallas? Wait, is he on Dallas?
Kraken?
No, he's on Kraken. Yeah, I mean, he's a big body. He's physical. He can do it. But this one from Oliver is a good one. Sam Bennett, like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's kind of greasy, man. He gets in your face. Huss hates him because
he jumped someone.
He jumped an offensive defenseman.
Okay, yeah, Sam Bennett light. I mean, if that's the case, that's a pretty good hockey player.
Yeah. But again, we won't know for a while.
Yeah, maybe we won't see him at all this year. Who knows?
So he is a center. I know people are saying play him with Kane and Perry and get him there. And I think he's going to probably be on your third or fourth line to start.
I shouldn't pick lines anymore because the ones I designed at the beginning of the year that I think we all had it quite similar and they didn't work out. Right. So maybe playing with Leon is a good opportunity for him. Who knows?
Yeah. Rob from LA. Hernan, I'm all for positivity, then goes into a negative rant. Keep it rolling. No, but I'm saying the player is exciting because I think that's the positive. You got a player that can really help this team and is exactly what they need. But the downside is you're not going to see him for a while, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. If he's not playing till playoffs, why get salary retention or a double salary retention, which is a good point. I don't know why. I truly don't. So I'll try to figure that one out because you don't really need it. Herb's Hose, who's reporting that Frederic won't be ready till the end of the season? John Shannon said he'll be out 8 to 10 games. That puts him at the 72-game mark. 10 games is a good sample size. I hope that's the point. But Chris Johnson, who's one of the better insiders in North America, he has it that he might. He said might. He didn't say it was set in stone. He might not be able to be ready by the playoffs. But if
it's supposedly lower body, ankle, right?
Yeah.
So look, those things usually when you have an ankle injury, it doesn't get better till the next year. It always kind of lingers. So to me, if I know I just went on about him trying to find that chemistry, but if he's not like 100%, and I know everyone is banged up by then, but as close, you want him as close to 100% as possible. You don't want him coming up at 70, 75 and try to find something there, especially the way that he plays the game, right? So give him enough rest. Hopefully he can come back with 10 games left, and then you can sort it out then and find the right spot where he's going to be the most effective.
I'm just, you know what, I'm also for like, because it's you've been doing this for so long that it's like, holy crap, the season's wrapping up soon. Like, you know what I mean? It still feels like it's so far away, but it's not.
Oh no,
like we're.
Oh yeah, I guess we've been doing it the whole season, eh? It doesn't seem that long, does it?
And then you're off for a week in April. I'm off for a week in April.
That's not by my choice. Maddie told me to leave.
Zulu bringing the positivity. I like it. Oilers got creative with what they had. I give them props. Look at that. How about that? Zulu, thank you for your positivity.
But does this, in your mind, are they a better team now?
Yes, I think he adds to it. Okay. But again, what are you going to do now you have, so say Trent Frederic's healthy. Now you have two guys sitting out. It's probably Kapanen. He might even get thrown out.
Well, they might just send him to the minors, right?
Yeah, or release him, put him on waivers.
Well, they have to hit him, go through waivers if they send him down. I think, right?
Yeah. So
someone might pick him up.
Jeff Skinner again sitting out. We'll get to the lineups. Don't worry. We'll get to Joaquin's hate for Calvin Pickard, who's getting the start tonight between the pipes. Well, my boy Jeff Skinner can't buy one, man. Can't get a break. I truly feel for him. I think he's been mishandled. Sure, a lot's on the player, but they keep going to the same guys that don't bring you anything production-wise. But I'm not the coach. Chris Knobloch is, so he's got to own this one. I don't agree with Jeff Skinner being out of the lineup. Okay, Joaquin. 266 watching, 38 thumbs up. Only 38 of the 260-plus watching like Trent Frederic trade. Wow.
No, it's because I want Skinner to start, and everyone's withholding their thumbs. So
No, don't. You're on Team Hernan. I said go with Calvin Pickard, and he's going to play well tonight, and they're going to pick up the win. We'll continue the Oilers talk next, though. It's Trade Watch segment. I got one name. One of the insiders threw out some interesting information. I want to know if you'd be interested, and I want to know if you would be interested. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat and text us on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. More Oilers on the other side of the break here on EST Afternoons. Here's B with your sports update.
The Oilers not waiting around for deadline day as they bring in Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins. The Oilers move out draft picks and prospects to both the Bruins and the Devils, who ate some salary on the remaining year of Frederic's deal. The Oilers are back at home as they welcome the Ducks to Rogers Place. Get set for puck drop with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas right here on EST for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 6 p.m. 10 other games around the league, featuring the Flames wrapping up their road trip in Philly when they face off against the Flyers. The Islanders welcome the Jets, and the Penguins travel to Colorado. In the association, there are 9 games, including the Raptors down in Orlando to tip off against the Magic. The Warriors stop in the Big Apple to face off against the Knicks. And the Suns host the Clippers. Over in the NFL, the Eagles make Saquon Barkley the highest paid running back in the league on a 2-year extension worth $41.2 million, 36 of that being fully guaranteed. And the Jets have released Devontae Adams, who they acquired for a 3rd rounder in October. This sports update is presented by Gimme Virtual Golf. Step into a whole new golfing experience with 240 unique courses for you to play, featuring innovative technology that automatically tees up the ball for you and replicates real-life ball lies, shifting the ball in 24 different directions. Gimme Virtual Golf, where innovation meets the game. Visit their website at gimevirtualgolf.ca. Salas and Gager. Get to the trade watch after the break. I'm Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. Learn more about safety supervision, scheduling, cost control, and most importantly, how to lead a team. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
.126, welcome back to EST Afternoons, coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. Another beautiful day here in the City of Champions. Look at all these resumes we got. I'm going to read them in the second hour here. Make sure to tune in. Man, we might be reading yours. We'll see if you've impressed us. No one's going to outdo Mr. What do you call that again? PDF. PowerPoint.
Oh.
That PowerPoint guy was impressive, man.
It was.
There's a lot of work put into that. I got to say, you're leading right now, buddy. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Sean Z. Okay, wait. I literally just hopped onto social media seeing that we acquired a player from Boston. I know he's a tough customer, which is awesome. But then I'm just seeing that he was immediately placed on IR. So what the hell?
Yeah. Those are the same emotions that a lot of people around here went through. It was quite amazing, actually.
Brandon says, Freddie is a poor man's Tom Wilson. That's another good one. Not as tough or big, but that's a good one. That's a good comparison as well. I like the Sam Bennett one. I think Sam Bennett has a little more offense, a little more jam, but that's a really, really good one. So, Sean's, yes, they have acquired Trent Frederic along with Max Jones and the rights to unsigned draft choice, Petr Hauser. I'll get into his numbers here as well. But Trent Frederic's hurt. He got hurt early February. He's been out for a while. Some insiders are reporting he might not be ready until the playoffs. Others are suggesting it might not be that long, maybe another 8 to 10 games. So we wait and see. And VR Montenegro says, as of right now, the Oilers are the exact same team they were this morning. This trade does nothing until we see this dude in action. What a delay on our excitement. Excitement delayers, the Edmonton Oilers. Excitement delayers. Let's see here. Okay, so Petr Hauser is a 21-year-old. He was drafted by the Devils in the 5th round of the 2022 NHL draft. 4 seasons in the Czech League this year in 16 games for Vitkovic. Did I say that right?
In the Czech League?
Yeah. Vitkovic.
Vitkovic.
HC, 16 games played. He has 4 points and 4 penalty minutes and is a +2. I don't know what the plan is there with that. And Max Jones is an interesting one. First rounder in 2016. I thought this guy was going to hit it off in Anaheim with those young guys like Sam Steele and when they were all there. He had some glimpses, but this year, 7 games in the NHL with the Boston Bruins, 0 points, -4. And then with the Providence Bruins, he's played 38 games. He's got 13 goals, 21 points, and is a +1. I'm assuming the plan for Max Jones is to head to Baco. I'd be shocked if he's up here with the Oilers.
Yeah, no. I talked to him. Someone said he's a forward Brown. But
Josh Brown?
Josh Brown, yeah.
Who said that?
I don't know. I forget. That happened on 2 guys. That was pretty funny. No, I mean, another guy that I think eventually taxi squad in it. If the Bakerfield Condors are done, he comes up and becomes an extra body.
Big Uke says his cap hit will only be $575K, so likely not. Yeah, he's a very low cap hit. A lot of people with Team Hernan on the Calvin Pickard. Zedmo says Pickard isn't just doing his job; he's doing Skinner's job.
Oh, stop it!
Yeah, because for you, and it's funny because you're the huge Calvin Pickard guy to start the season. Now you've turned.
I'm still a Calvin.
But
wait, stop it! But look, he's a backup. This isn't a 1A, 1B scenario.
He's doing his job.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's like the job description of a goalie is the most simplistic phrase in all employment. Stop the puck. 3 words. That's it. And Calvin Pickard did that. And he's counted upon in his role to come in once in a while and provide that service. And that's what he's doing. That's it. But you can't. Stuart Skinner is the number 1 guy. You need him. If you want to win a Stanley Cup, his game needs to be at the high level, the highest level that he can get it to. And that'll, with the Edmonton Oilers, the way that they're constructed, that should provide them with a chance to win a Stanley Cup. So I can see Tango's obviously a high IQ. He agrees with me.
Tango always agrees with you.
Mom?
Mom, is that you? Where was it? Oh, yeah. Arthur says this guy is an excellent sports updater. Look at that, B. You're getting some love here.
Wow.
Turn your mic on. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Even better after that comment. Who said that?
Hernan just made it up. No, I'm sorry.
You're a big sports guy, big Oiler guy. What did you make of this move? Are you with us that it's kind of bittersweet since we won't see this guy for a while?
Absolutely. And one of my best buddies, he's a big Bruins guy. So immediately I sent him the tweet, and he was pretty jazzed up for us. I don't know if that was a little bit of happiness as a Bruins fan getting him out of there.
Yeah.
But he said truthfully that, this guy will make an impact in the bottom 6, and it's better than most of the options in there right now.
That's a good idea. I got a few Bruins fans that are friends. I should contact them. Smitty the welder. Obviously sniffing too many welding fumes too.
Welding?
I don't know what you do as a welder.
Reed and Jay are the welding experts.
Yeah, maybe I need them in there. Gager, enough, man. Pickard is doing this job, and Skinner isn't. But Smitty, you need Stuart Skinner to find his game.
Well, you're getting a lot more support now. Ryden Pine says Gager's right. We need to get Skinner up to speed before the playoffs start, and he's where he is now.
Yeah.
Penner's Pancake says Brundon is improving weekly.
That's the goal.
So you like to trade for the Oilers?
I do. I do like it. The IR thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is
What are we
going on
doing?
there?
Yeah.
I don't know how I really feel about kind of handcuffing yourself a little bit more with the Kane situation, but you're paying this guy what? Not even $600,000. So
Yeah.
what more can you do? What more can you ask
At
for?
this point, it's low risk, right?
Yeah,
With a
absolutely.
potential of a high reward, as the Edmonton no moving clauses are. Yeah,
He's a
It's-
playoff type player.
It is. What did Dusty say? Florida had 3 no movements. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
3.
it was 3, I think.
The Oilers have 7 just on offense, just for forwards.
So it's ridiculous.
Like it's because Nurse has one.
And Cass made up had a good point, but I have trouble if the way the Oilers set themselves up, you're looking at that team as, oh, you know what? I haven't won a cup. I got a chance to go play with them. I want to go there. Why are you giving a player that wants to come here a no movement clause?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you want to be here, want to be part of it? Great. Awesome. I'm all for it, but
Play well and we won't trade you.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
right?
it's almost a free card to play like crap, and
If a
then
guy
you're like,
goes,
well, you can't move
Well,
me.
I got another offer from another team, and I go, "Oh, they can a contender?" You well, kinda, and I go, "Well, we are." Like, you can't say that you're not. We're not giving those out. You have to perform, and if you don't perform, your butt's gone.
That should be enough.
Yeah,
That you're on a contending team with Connor frickin' McDavid.
you shouldn't need to hand these things out. This isn't the old days where they talk about it's a world-class facility. You get treated like royalty here. It's winters suck. Okay, it sucks. But you know what? You get to go travel and go to Florida once a year, or whatever stuff. You go down to California. Just those days are long gone with what they have here.
I'm trying to get you off 2 guys. Would you put in your next contract a nice little no movement?
Dusty's already given me a number of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I got to renegotiate my contract.
It's a 15-year deal. It's the DiPietro deal of EST.
Yeah. They're going to buy it out. They're going to buy it
God,
out.
I hope so. They'll be paying me till I'm 80.
Yeah. It's time for the Trade Watch segment presented by Nate's Construction and Leadership Supervision Program. Take your career to the next level with Nate's Construction Leadership and Supervision Program, a perfect tool for professionals looking to advance their role or an organization needing to develop leaders. For more information and to register, visit nate.ca/CLSP to take your career to another level. This one's Caster 1990 says, if Frederic isn't healthy, perhaps the Oilers would have been better off bringing back Pat Maroon. He has familiarity with several members of the team, plus he's a cup magnet, won 3 since leaving Edmonton. Do you like Patty Maroon?
I
Too slow?
do, but there's not a lot of.
I mean, this team's already slow. And no offense to Pat Maroon.
No,
but-
you're just getting slower.
Yeah.
Older and slower. That's not what you need. And not that Frederic's, like, what is he, 27?
Yeah.
But he gets around the ice
Sure.
a lot better than Pat Maroon does.
Yeah, I wanted to. I'm trying to find the insider who had it. Okay, here. Pierre LeBrun earlier this morning, hearing that the Kraken are willing to eat 50% of Brandon Tanev's $3.5 million cap hit to facilitate a deal. This is the Trade Watch segment. Is a Brandon Tanev a guy you would look for the Oilers? Well, probably not now because of Frederic, but he's an interesting name. He can kill penalties. He's fast. He's physical. He's got a little bit of that rat in him, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably a
I
much
don't
better
think
question
so,
without
though.
Frederic, right? So
Yeah, no, it's you're getting another apple. You need an orange, right? I think it's 33. He still gets around pretty good. It adds a little bit. Is he faster though? Oilers needed some more speed, man.
but he's not slow
Yeah,
because I just don't think the Oilers are getting a top end defenseman. So like if that's the case, I don't even know if you're bringing in a guy that's like a 6'7", like what's the point? Joaquin is my point. So why not load up front and see what you can do with better defenders, guys that have you
need someone else. Or
Well, I know you need someone else, but you're not getting another Ekholm type here in Edmonton this year. At least I can't see it.
I mean, what makes it really difficult is all these other teams are battling, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of GMs have probably had a tough couple weeks, actually, when they look at where they are in the standings. There's the possibilities of securing one of those wild card spots. Like this is going to be exciting down to the wire here, right? Like you look in the East. I mean, I thought that the Rangers were completely out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're tied. Well, Detroit's got the last spot, but they're the same. They've got 66 points. Ottawa 65, Montreal 65, Boston 64, right? Yeah, it's going to come down to the wire here. So these teams are not. I don't think they're looking to selling assets or building or getting picks. They're looking to improve their teams.
That's a lot of teams are not selling right. A lot.
Yeah.
Unless you're knocking their socks off. That's the danger of the trade deadline, because in the deal in the summer, you don't have to probably give up so much that you do now, right? So Zedmo says, after Connor and Leon, who do you have confidence in the top 6? That's a great question. Like,
what do you mean?
Like, who do you depend on after those two to go get you a big goal? Because right now, none of them are going. Hyman's been bad. Nuge has been bad. I can't believe Arvidsson's still in the top 6.
Yeah, there's
But Colton doesn't produce, but he plays well.
This secondary scoring is didn't turn into what you thought it would be.
It's crazy. Everybody's having a down year for the Oilers outside of Leon Draisaitl and Darnell Nurse, and Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some bottom kind of teams that I don't think.
Aiden O'Neill says should have gone Carlo too. Yeah, but listen, I totally agree. Brandon Carlo's an excellent defenseman. He immediately make this team that much better. But Boston's not moving one of their better guys unless you're willing to give up a lot. I agree, Aiden. I think Brandon Carlo would be awesome. I like the idea of Alexiak. I don't know what that's going to take to get him here. Big body, can play up and down your pairings, which would be a good fit. Yeah, it's tough, man. The top 6 for the Oilers has not been good. The bottom 6 at times has shown up, but sometimes they don't. And you're seeing it. Jeff Skinner, who's outproduced a lot of the guys that are regulars in this lineup, can't be a regular, which blows my mind because he's not awful defensively. He's not great. He's not really good. But I mean, has anyone noticed Jeff Skinner being that terrible defensively that he has to be out of the lineup every single time?
I think the signing has shown me that they're looking to be just a little bit more, like they said, sandpaper in that area of their game. They think that that's where they're lacking most. And if you have Evander Kane in your lineup for the whole year, maybe you've already satisfied that. I don't know.
But I mean,
you can't have your 40-year-old being your sandpaper.
No,
although he does a great.
no.
Like the thing is, he does
good.
An unreal job at it. He's
Yeah.
had an way above what I thought he would be able to do this year. Right.
Kay Gill says Brandon Carlo, Connor Murphy, Bowen Brian Dumoulin. Yeah, I'd take all 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
Or just one of them. But again, I don't think the Oilers are done. And I like those defensemen because they can make an impact. I just don't want another, and no disrespect, but I don't want another Troy Stetch or Josh Brown at the deadline because they don't help. They don't move the needle. They don't make anyone better. They don't. They're just here and like, oh, let's try him since we're not too happy with this guy's game. So you can't do that.
I wonder what it would take to get Bowen Byram out of Buffalo.
How amazing would that be? He's a good player, man. He can move the puck. He's had his issues, health and injury-wise.
He had the crack noggin a little bit. But, this guy, the only reason that he probably wasn't quarterbacking the Avalanche power play back in the day was because of Taze and McCarr.
Yeah.
Right? And he still got out there a little bit and was really, really good in their cup run.
Yeah. He's a hell of a defenseman. Smaller guy, though.
Smaller.
Yeah. But that's fine.
3.8 RFA next year.
And that's the other thing about Frederic. He's a UFA.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You can probably sign him cheap, though, Gager. Like, he's not going to cost you a lot.
Yeah, but he's American.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm just saying that a lot of times Americans do like to play at home if they can.
Kay Gill's got a good question. Okay, we're gonna get to it after the break regarding this trade. It's interesting. All right, portion of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. It's time for a wing throwdown at the Canadian Brewhouse. Fuego Verde. You know what that means?
Hot Fridays?
No, it means green fire.
Green fire. Oh, verde. Oh,
Verde.
Verde.
Fuego Verde versus Honey Blaze. Who's taking the crown? Hit up the Canadian Brewhouse for wing night. Our house is your house. Wing nights on Wednesday. Of course, go check them out. They got wicked flavors at the Canadian Brewhouse. We'll get to Kay Gill's question. Do you have any questions? Are you happy Pickard starting? Who do you want on defense? Are the Oilers done at the trade deadline? Are they going to add another forward? There's so many possibilities still for the Edmonton Oilers. That's all coming up here on EST Afternoons, live from the William Huff Studios. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and here's Brendan with your sports update.
The Oilers not waiting around for deadline day as they bring in Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins. The Oilers move out draft picks and prospects to both the Bruins and the Devils, who ate salary on the remaining year of Frederic's contract. The Oilers are back at home as they welcome the Ducks to Rogers Place. Get set with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas right here on EST for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 6 p.m. 10 other games around the NHL featuring the Flames wrapping up their road trip in Philly when they face off against the Flyers. Nashville heads to Boston, and Detroit welcomes Carolina to the Motor City. In the association, there are 9 games, including the Raptors down in Orlando to tip off against the Magic. The Warriors stop in the Big Apple, meeting with the Knicks, and the Suns host the Clippers. Over in the NFL, the Eagles make Saquon Barkley the highest paid running back in the league on a 2-year extension worth $41.2 million. 36 of that fully guaranteed. And the Jets have released Devontae Adams, who they acquired for a 3rd-rounder in October. This sports update is presented by Capital Care. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care. Whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution, every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. More Oilers around the break. I'm Brendan Eric, and you are up to date.
The EST Hangout.
To get a guy like Evander Kane back in the lineup would be like to get that forward that you're looking for. You may have him on your roster already, but it depends on what he's like. He's been out the whole year. He hasn't been able to skate. He hasn't been able to work out. You know, when you have the sports hernia issue and they basically go into your guts and fix everything you're not going to be able to move for a while.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Hungry and need it now? The Canadian Brewhouse Express Lunch, served in under 15 minutes or it's free, Monday to Friday till 2 p.m. Roasted turkey club and soup, Alberta Wagyu ravioli, and more. Fast, fresh, and no excuses. Get to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
.147. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. We just had our Trade Watch segment, which was presented by Nate's Construction and Leadership Supervision Program. We'll have that all the way up until Friday when the trade deadline ends at 1 p.m. The oil stream that day will run 2 hours, and I think they're going to go to about 105, and then we're going to jump on just in case anything breaks at 1. We don't want to be in commercials while something breaks. So we're being delayed a bit, Gager.
We're always a little delayed.
We're always a little. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, or on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. We're at 86 already. Great start to the day. People are excited for Trent Frederic. And the question I wanted to ask, Joaquin, was, Cagill said, is Trent Frederic, who's a very similar player to Evander Kane. Evander Kane probably has more offense. He's a true top 6 power forward. Is he a replacement for Evander Kane? Is this can we kind of speculate that Kane might be on his way out?
Yeah. We've all heard rumors from a lot of insiders saying that he is on the board.
Yeah.
Right? They were looking to move him. I don't know where Evander Kane is at, which right then, if that is being broadcast or leaked out, that, to me, doesn't that seem like the Oilers and Evander Kane are not on the same page?
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting rid of Evander Kane, who is, although a little bit older, still has the ability, I think, to score some goals, and even if he's not adding offense, his style of play, that aggressive style, it doesn't grow on trees. He's able to change the flow of the game just with his physicality and being on the ice and being a presence, right?
Yeah.
So, and if that is not, it does look like you're because the whole plan, I think, was to get him back into the lineup, get a player of his ilk, his caliber, his meanness, and go from there.
Because now you're in the same boat.
The reason why I think Jeff Skinner hasn't been in the lineup, and he's not really that type of player, but they wanted to see a little bit more fire in the belly from him. You know, I think that's kind of what they wanted. A little pushback. You're not going to get much, right? He's not that type of guy, but that's one of the areas that they need. So, yeah, I think for sure.
That's a good point, Cagill. Yeah, that's a really good point, because if he doesn't want to go on LTR, they might find a suitor for him, and then you free up that money, and then you can go shopping for that defenseman, right? Just to update you, for the upcoming draft this year, the Oilers have no picks in the first, second, or fourth round, or fifth round. They only have 3 picks total in the third, sixth, and seventh. Now, I'm a little stingy with picks, but I also understand when a team's a Stanley Cup contender, that doesn't matter. You're all in to win, right? Like, you can't be. Tampa Bay never worried about their first rounders when they were winning all those cups.
No,
I don't think the Oilers should either.
No, neither. Like, the Vegas Golden Knights don't care.
No.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
they still don't care.
And I mean, those picks, and because I believe not this year but next year, there's a few really enticing picks. I think they're like top 5 or whatever. But you got to be looking at, I think, even the 2026 first round pick, if it's going to make your team better.
100%. Those picks are not going to help you win a cup. They're not.
No.
Unless they're traded for quality players that can help you.
Those are years down the line.
Yeah. Tampa traded first rounder for Barclay Goodrow, who was a big part of the third line with the guy from Calgary, Coleman, and Gordy. Yeah. Like, those are you can't worry about that. You worry about that after. The game tonight, first home game in a long time for the Edmonton Oilers. Pickard gets a start. Matt Savoy comes in. He will play with Victor Arvidsson and Leon Draisaitl, which you mean Podkolzin on the fourth line with Perry and Kapanen is the most likely. We haven't seen anything. They did call up Cam Dineen in an emergency basis yesterday because Nurse and it wasn't. Kulak and Ekholm missed practice due to illness. Well, Kulak illness, Ekholm we don't know, but it's expected that Darnell Nurse and Matthias Ekholm will play tonight, so that's more good news for the Edmonton Oilers. Both teams have won 1 game, each at home. This is the third of 4 games between these two clubs. It's also It's a big Connor McDavid's 700th game tonight, Joaquin. You expecting a big game from the captain, El Capitan?
Yeah, I am.
It's about damn time, right?
Yeah, Dusty mentioned it's been a month since he's had a 3-point game, or over a month. And I don't think things have been going well for Connor McDavid. He's putting up points, but for his standard and what we're used to seeing, might I say he's even a shadow of his former self. There were glimpses last game of him dancing in the offensive zone and stuff. I still would love to see him just be a little bit more selfish and shoot the puck once in a while. I think he lets defenses off the hook when he's in a good scoring opportunity, a good position to shoot, that he doesn't shoot and keeps it and holds on and looks for something else, because it allows defensive structures to regain position and start fresh. But I do expect him to be something tonight. Look, he's been gone for like a month and a half. Yeah. First time he's been home in that period of time. Sunday, get like I said, back to the routine. Everything's the same. Get back into the flow of things. It's all conducive to Connor McDavid having a big night.
All right, this is Knobloch on why Calvin Pickard's getting the start tonight.
Yeah, I think both goaltenders have been playing really well. Picks has just really come up big, especially last game against Carolina. I think he's won his last 12 of his 14 starts, quality starts too, all but probably one of them. This is not a slight on Skinner. It's just a reward for our backup goalie who's been playing extremely well and being able to win games. So, so we felt that it was right that he got the start today.
That's Chris Knobloch talking about why Pickard's getting the start. It's his first back-to-back game since the playoffs in that Vancouver series. You're going to get angry at me, but I have to ask you this. Pickard's excellent again tonight. Does he go Thursday?
No. Come on. What do you do?
Because you need wins.
We all taking crazy
You need
pills
wins.
here?
You need wins. He gives you the best chance right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the starter.
Are you saying you can't win with Stu Skinner?
Lately, you can.
No, the team sucked too.
No, that's fair. I mean, the
Come
five
on.
guys.
You need Stuart Skinner. Okay, you need him. Can't win without him. It's ridiculous. I understand. Okay, you're reward, and look, he phrased it. Your backup played well. You're rewarding him with another game. Okay, I get it. I understand that. I probably, in certain situations, would have approved of that if I had a good game. I would want the next game in a backup role. But as a team and looking long picture here of what you want to do, what you want to get back to, you have to get Stuart Skinner back into the net, and whatever happens, you roll with him. He's got to work this stuff out. I'm telling you, you're not going to get this taking one-timers from the slot from Dustin Schwartz going side to side, all right? You need to get back in games.
Gager doesn't want the Oilers to win.
I'm about to leave.
Oh, boy. Skinner Thursday, but if Pickard wins tonight and Skinner loses Thursday, then Pickard gets Dallas. Ooh.
No.
I mean, Montreal's no slouch. Either are the Ducks, man. And Dallas, we know what Dallas is.
There's no slouches. Every team's going to be ready to play the Oilers. That's just...
So what your point is that everybody's overreacting over Pickard's performance, where it's like, that's regular NHL goaltending is what you're saying. That's what it should be normally.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's what it should be.
Is it fair to say Skinner's not playing at that level then?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's okay. He's an okay NHL goaltender with his play right now. It has to get a lot better.
Brent says Hernan and Gage can both be correct.
No, we can't. There's
yeah, of course we can.
No, I refuse.
Big Hugh says it's not as simple as W's and L's, Aiden. Is he fighting? I think at this point it is. Isn't it just win, baby? Doesn't matter who's between the pipes?
No, not now.
Okay, so you're just all in to get Skinner going,
yes.
No matter what it takes.
No matter what.
Okay, so I have a question then. What if he continues to struggle? When do you draw that line and say, okay, enough with Stuart Skinner right now? Because after Friday, you have no choice. Yeah, it's one or the other.
You roll with him. You keep rolling. until if it gets so bad,
Yeah.
I mean real bad.
Real bad.
Like this is Mikko Koskinen letting every first shot in bad, right? Didn't he let in the first 4 of the one game? Weren't we sitting there the first 4? Yeah. Like if that happens like on back-to-back nights, or if he's letting in like a lot of stoppable pucks, and it's looking real bad, then yes, but you got to give him the leash here.
Max Bezuzu says, from what I'm hearing, the Oilers have a 2A, 2B goalie situation. Not even a 1B, Max Bezuzu. Zedmo says, I have more faith in Pick. He also added, if Bouchard gets nurse money, he's out. Zedmo, let me save you the time.
Let's stop. We don't need to go to Bush yet. Let's wait till after the
Let's
game.
give him a break. It's been nice not talking about Evan Bouchard. Until tonight. Let's see here. Where did that one? Chief Andy says, our 5-on-5 is garbage. Chief Andy not blaming the goalies. Wow. We're all improving on this. We're all becoming better people.
Yeah, it's like, I won't say, like, Pickard played good, but what does goaltending do? I've said this before. What does it do mostly? When goalies play really well, like really, really well, and make some really big saves, usually means you weren't as sound defensively as you should be.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure. If you're making like huge save after huge save, that says more about your team than it does your goalie.
And the best in the biz, they make the saves that they should and take a few away. I think that's what John Cooper told Jordan Binnington at the start of the Four Nations, right? That's all we want from you. And he delivered, right? But what did Jordan Binnington have to do? And what did John Cooper do to allow Jordan Binnington to have success in the final game? Anyone? Smitty the Welder?
Crickets.
Jesus.
Oh.
And that took what? 3 games?
Yeah.
3 games that took. You maniacs.
So many maniacs out there. Great conversation, though. Great conversation. Calvin Pickard is your starter tonight. Hopefully he can have another solid game and the Oilers can win 2 games in a row. They haven't done that since February 4th and 5th. OT wins in Chicago and St. Louis, if not mistaken. It's been a great conversation. We're going to continue it in hour 2, but coming up next, we're going to shift gears. First 3 EST Fantasy League F1 resumes. Okay, no names, but we're just going to read them, see what kind of stuff these people are bringing. And every day we'll read a few more because we got a ton to get through to select 2 of you to join the EST F1 Fantasy League. Plus, Derek Lee from the Hockey News, he'll preview the Ducks for us, and we'll continue the Oilers conversation. Are you Team Hernan, Stuart Skinner? No. Calvin Pickard? Or are you Team Joaquin Gage?
All these people would have coached the Canadian team. They would have put Aiden Hill in, and we would have lost.
Oh, good point.
Stop it.
So you're saying Stuart Skinner's Jordan Binnington, but for the Oilers?
Yes.
Okay. I like it. It's EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. We're live here from the William Huff Studios. It's Edmonton Sports Talk. We're back after the break.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
When I was doing U of A basketball play-by-play, I believe Patches had a little bit of a interest in me. Whenever I was setting up for the broadcasts, Patches just always seemed to be there. Wondering if I needed any help or any companionship. Never progressed beyond that. I think I was a little bit of the bamboo of Patches' eye, so to speak.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
The Oilers not waiting around for deadline day as they bring in Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins. The Oilers move out draft picks and prospects to both the Bruins and the Devils, who ate salary on the remaining year of Frederic's contract. The Oilers are back at home as they welcome the Ducks to Rogers Place. Get set for puck drop with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas right here on EST for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 6 p.m. 10 other games around the NHL featuring the Flames wrapping up their road trip in Philly when they face off across from the Flyers. The Lightning host the Jackets, and the Sharks stay out east as they see Buffalo. Jake Evans doesn't seem to be going anywhere as he inked a deal with the Canadiens that pays him $11.4 million through 28-29, and Florida has came to terms with Jesper Boqvist on a 2-year extension worth $3 million. In the association, there are 9 games, including the Raptors down in Orlando to tip off against the Magic. The Rockets hit the road to take on the Pacers, and Atlanta welcomes Milwaukee to town. We get to your F1 resumes next. I'm Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
.205, hour 2 here on EST Afternoons on this Tuesday afternoon. The Edmonton Oilers made a trade with the Boston Bruins, New Jersey Devils. They get Trent Frederic, Max Jones, and who's the other fellow here? Petr Hauser. Playing in the Czech League right now. The Oilers end up giving up prospects, Scott LaChance, Maximus Warner.
Scott LaChance?
No. What did it say? Shane
LaChance.
Yeah.
I played against Scott LaChance.
Scott LaChance, former Islander, number 7.
Maybe
Second round pick and a 4th round pick. So the Oilers giving up some picks and some interesting prospects to get Trent Frederic, who's hurt and potentially could be out until the playoffs, could come back sooner. We'll wait and see. I don't think they're done yet, 100%. This is EST Afternoons here from the William Huff Studios on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. If you're listening, iHeart, TuneIn radio apps, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Just jump over to YouTube for like 1 minute, hit the thumbs up, and you can go back to the audio. If you're watching us, like always, hit the nasty chat and the thumbs up. We're at 102. We could potentially break a record for our show today if we keep slamming that thumbs up. So don't stop, all right? Do not stop. I did want to update something. Oh, Chief Andy says, where is Chief Andy? He's always stirring the pot. Where'd it go? Yeah, I can't find it. Maybe the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. That would sum up Stuart Skinner. Listen, Chief Andy, he's struggling lately, but I think that kind of
thinking
phrase or thinking is for longer term. Like, it's not like Stuart Skinner sucked for 3 years, right? Like, he's
been the brightest light of this team for outside of McDavid and Draisaitl for a long time.
I think it's fine. If you don't like Stuart Skinner and you think he's the worst goalie, all the power to you. But I think we're being a little too harsh. Does he need to be better? 120% he does. No one's sitting here saying anything else. But he is going to be the guy here. If this team's going to go all the way, it's going to be with him. And unless they
You can't tell me he's not capable of doing it. Too. He's capable of doing it. I think he can.
Well, he went to Game 7.
Oh, right.
And it's all his fault that they didn't win.
Look, he gave them a chance. You don't like the one goal, I know, but your big dog's got to score too.
And he needs help in front of him. Sure, he needs to be better, 100%.
But what goalie doesn't need help in front of them? I don't know what people want like from their goaltending. It's unrealistic.
You know who has more wins than Hellebuck in the playoffs?
Who?
Stuart Skinner.
Oh my gosh!
Oh boy, he probably has more than Shesterkin.
Yeah, it's funny. In Winnipeg, if you go talk to Winnipeggers, like we can ask Winnipeggers, are you worried about Hellebuck in the playoffs? I mean, he's proven himself to be one of the greatest regular season goaltenders of all time. But comes the big dance, Stuart Skinner's done better than what people argue is the best goaltender on the planet right now. So,
okay, so Chief Andy says our tone will change after they flop in the playoffs this year. Fine. Okay, so let's do a what if before we get to the F1 resumes. A big what if. They bring in John Gibson and the Oilers are on the second round. Who are you going to blame? Seriously, Chief Andy, who are you going to blame?
Probably Stuart Skinner because John Gibson gets injured and won't play after the first.
If John Gibson's the goalie for the Oilers this year in the playoffs and they're out in the second round, who are you going to blame? Now it is going to be just the team and had nothing to do with the goaltender? Like, come on, guys. If the Oilers are out in the second round, sure. It could be one big part, could be goaltending, but there's always more to it. It's not just one thing. Okay, anyways. Derek Lee from the Hockey News coming up at 2:20. We'll continue the Oilers talk. People are getting feisty. This Stuart Skinner stuff is driving us apart. It is.
Me and you?
Me and you.
Yeah.
Our listeners.
I mean, let's face it.
Why can't we all just be happy?
We weren't really together to begin with, but...
All right, so the F1 resumes, there's 2 spots open for the very prestige F1 EST Fantasy League. That gets going in a couple of weeks here. We're only 10 days away, Joaquin.
Oh, I know.
All right, we got a lot. When Gager asked for the resumes, he didn't expect to get this many.
There's a lot.
So just again, what were the requirements for the resumes?
So... the first requirement was why should you be in the pool? Reasons why you think you should join the EST F1 fantasy pool. Your experience with F1, and it didn't need to be lengthy. Like, what got you into it? How many years? Things like that. Third was what race is your favorite, and where's the one place that you would like to attend a race, and of course, your favorite team, why that's your favorite team, favorite driver, what made you want to see that driver have success more than anyone else.
Okay, this is the first one we're going to read. And no names. If you're listening and this is you, you can reveal yourself or you can just stay quiet and giggle. I'm writing to express my strong interest in joining your esteemed EST F1 Fantasy League. My primary motivation for joining is to validate my racing knowledge among my colleagues. He's giving himself away a bit here. As a welder, I sometimes feel my mechanical insights are undervalued compared to those of technicians. I believe my passion and dedication can prove my understanding of the sport. That's not bad.
It's not bad. Good old Chat GPT.
Oh, man. His favorite driver is Charles Leclerc. And let's see here. He just says, I sincerely hope you consider my application. Thank you for your time. We're not going to read them all. We'll be here forever, but we'll read why you should be in there. So that's the first one. Let's see. Who was that? He's a pretty known nasty, so I'll leave it at that for you. Number 2. Gager. Give me the seat. It will be bigger deal than Ferrari signing Lewis last year. Last year, my team blew away anyone else in our league. I have the technical knowledge and gut feel it takes to win this thing. His favorite teams are Ferrari, and his favorite driver is Charles Leclerc. He's been to Montreal for a Grand Prix. Next up is Monza in 2026 for the honeymoon.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
All right. I also need a reason to come to the office and pick up my nasty club. Oh, boy.
That's good.
All right. That's number 2. Here comes another one. I'm kind of torn on how to approach this opportunity. Part of me wants to butter you up, but I'm really not an ass kisser. Another part of me wants to crush your soul by beating everyone in this fantasy league, just like any cocky F1 driver who is confident in themselves. Having said that, I got to be me. I've been following F1 for a long time. He also says his favorite team is McLaren. His favorite drivers, Gilles Villeneuve, and Ayrton Senna.
No. Legends.
I hope this does not intimidate you at all. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like you.
Oh, that's good.
I hope that I can test my mettle against you and the rest of the league. Another excellent
submission.
One.
There's good. There's some good ones. Well done, everyone.
And we got one more.
Yeah, this one is.
This one's just top notch.
This was an actual.
Sorry, I gotta open it.
I don't know if you can open it. Can you open it? I might have to open it.
Oh, let's see here. No, it's opening.
Okay.
A PowerPoint. Why should I be chosen? I've been a fan of F1 for 7 years. My fandom started when I watched the first season of Drive to Survive. After that, I've been hooked. I have not missed a race, regardless of time zone, practice qualifying, or even preseason testing. Yes, all 27 hours.
Is this my resume?
I think I would make a great addition to the fantasy because of my love for F1, EST, and my great personality. And then his favorite driver is Max Verstappen, so you're already down 1 point. His favorite team is Red Bull. That's 2 points knocked off. He has a wicked Lego F1 Hot Wheels collection. Yeah, well done. I have not had the opportunity to attend an F1 race. If I could choose a race, I would choose the Mexican Grand Prix. Bonus points for choosing Mexico.
I know. Yeah,
so
that's
those
to get your vote.
So those are the 4 today. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Some were very respectful. Some were a little ballsy.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
You know what? That's the F1 drivers are probably the most confident athletes on the planet, you would say. Pretty close. Or one of the tops. You'd have to put them in the upper side. I like to see the driver and people come out too. Yeah, we still have about another 20, so we'll keep reading these throughout the day, and then we got to make a selection. The selection committee will get together. Thank you for everyone for sending these in. Yeah, thanks. Brownie points for sending a PowerPoint. Raider Jesse says, I have a PowerPoint presentation for my application. I need an email. Joaquin, JOAQUIN at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Well done, Nasties. Well done. Like it.
It's going to be tough to choose.
It is going to be tough to choose.
It's going to be very tough. I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to take a lot of heat when...
I've got a criteria kind of building of what we want to see.
Okay.
So we'll max it out. We'll take the points. We might have to bring in some extra help, too.
Some extra help to make us decide.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Hernan, if the Oilers are out in the first round, who are you going to blame? Well, I don't know. It's March 4th. I haven't watched one playoff game. How am I going to... You guys are already pre-selecting Stuart Skinner is going to cost the Oilers in the playoffs. Like, that's ridiculous. And if he does, sure, we'll sit here and say, it was Stuart Skinner.
What if they do the same thing? Like, you don't want this to happen, but a few years ago, the bubble hockey, what was those? Mike Smith... weren't they all 1-goal games except
all overtime?
Yeah, all overtime for one, right? Yeah. They didn't like some of the goals Mike Smith allowed. I thought Hellebuck was the better goalie, but he gave his team a chance to win every single night.
There's a lot of reasons. It could be goaltending. It could be the offense dries up. It could be they're a complete mess like they were over last weekend in the defensive zone.
Could be the other team's just better.
Or the other team's just got a you-know-what up there, you-know-what.
Remember when the Hawks came in? They weren't supposed to be in the playoffs and just smacked them around?
Remember when the Oilers beat Detroit in 2006? And they weren't supposed to? Like, those things happen.
Tell you the truth, I like the Oilers when they got their backs against the wall a little bit.
It's better.
I think they operate better.
When they go in feeling fat and sassy, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. So, listen, if the Oilers are out, don't go all the way. There's going to be lots of reasons why. And yes, goaltending could be one. I'm not sitting here saying it's not going to be. It could be one. It could be Stuart Skinner. It could be Calvin Pickard. It could be a new guy. But I'm just saying, like, you can't predetermine that Stuart Skinner is going to cost his team the playoffs when we haven't even been in the playoffs yet. Yeah. Like, let's wait. And if he is bad to Eazy-E and Ace and Chief Andy that all dislike Stuart Skinner, we'll sit here and be honest and say, yeah, he was bad. I'm sitting here right now saying he's been bad. As of late, he's been really bad, and I'm glad Calvin Pickard's getting the start tonight.
It's going to be really funny when I'm going to be posting pictures of Stuart Skinner holding the Conn Smythe on Jasper on the parade route.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. I'm going to weld Smitty the Welder's head to the ground on that day.
Hernan, we don't speak of the first round of 2006. Those are great times because they barely made the playoffs. They were the 8th seed, and they go on, and it was in 6. They didn't even go 7.
No.
Yeah, that was great.
That was unreal.
Oh, unreal. What a run by those boys.
That was game 6, and it was funny because I was sitting, and I was severely hungover with my buddies, and we weren't drinking, and then I cracked a beer and the Oilers scored because we were essentially, it was over. Like Detroit was up. Oh, they're not going to win this. They're not going to win in Detroit. This is over. And they came back. Oh, and then we couldn't believe it because he lived close to White Ave and we walked down there. Holy smokes. It was jammed.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Big Uke says, I know one of those resumes was not Norm. He doesn't know those big words. Good job to the 4.
Hey, not cheating, not trying. That's what I tell my kid when she has a test.
Yeah, good job to. I think these were all gentlemen. I know we have I think a few ladies have submitted some too as well. So, but I think today's we're all the boys, so well done. We'll pick another 3-4 to read tomorrow. And if you want to keep sending them in, if you're late to the party, Joaquin at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can even add Hernan at EdmontonSportsTalk.com so I can help them.
Yeah.
Because we're getting a ton in, and it's hard to keep a track of. So we'll print off a few more tomorrow for the 2 spots in the F1 EST Fantasy League. All right, we got to get out. We're going to talk some Anaheim Ducks on the other side of the break. Keep slamming that thumbs up. Let's keep arguing about the goaltending here on the Nasty Chat in the River Cree inbox. 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. We preview the Ducks up next here on EST Afternoons. Here's Brendan with your sports update.
The Oilers not waiting around for deadline day as they bring in Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins. The Oilers move out draft picks and prospects to both the Bruins and the Devils, who ate salary for the remaining year of Frederic's contract. The Oilers are back at home as they welcome the Ducks to Rogers Place. Get set for Puck Drop with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas right here on EST for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show starting at 6 p.m. 10 other games around the NHL featuring the Flames wrapping up their road trip in Philly when they face off against the Flyers. The Devils head south to take on the Stars, and Seattle welcomes Minnesota to the Pacific Northwest. Jake Evans doesn't seem to be going anywhere as he inked a deal with the Canadiens that pays him $11.4 million through 28-29, and Florida has came to terms with Jasper Boquist on a 2-year extension worth $3 million. In the association, there are 9 games, including the Raptors down in Orlando to tip off against the Magic. The Cavs take on the Bulls in Chicago, and the Wolves host the Sixers. This sports update is presented by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They are more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking and fencing, as well as custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Derek Lee joins the fellas after the break. I am Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Make your birthday legendary at the Canadian Brewhouse with epic food, killer drinks, and an unbeatable vibe. Plus, download the Canadian Brewhouse app and score free nachos on your big day. Book your party now to celebrate like a pro. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Love is in the air. I love you. And you? And you? And you! Why choose between your beloved items? Sentinel Storage, keeping your treasures safe to be loved again. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're live from the William Huff Studios. It's Edmonton Oilers game day as they host the Anaheim Ducks. It's been a while since they've been at home. It's going to be nice to see them down at Rogers Place. Of course, Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne will continue the coverage of previewing the Oilers game and, of course, the trades made by the Edmonton Oilers today, acquiring Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins, along with a prospect as well. They'll go from 3 to 6. Then Tommy G jumps on with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show from 6 to 7. We'll be back later tonight with the postgame show, hopefully breaking down an Oilers victory. They haven't had many lately, but we'll see what they can do against Anaheim tonight. To talk Anaheim Ducks, we are joined by Derek Lee, covers the Ducks for the Hockey News. Derek, how are you doing this afternoon?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about this Anaheim team. They've been on quite a good run as of late, 6-3-1 in their last 10. What's kind of led to their turnaround and only sitting 6 points out of the last wildcard spot in the West?
Well, I think if you ask them, they just say they're playing simple hockey, north and south. Obviously, it's a lot more complex than that, but I think it's just because they've been able to kind of get things going. Like their young guys are going a little bit more. Leo Carlson's been fantastic coming out of the Four Nations face-off break, and the goaltending has been a strong part of their team the whole year. So when you're starting to get guys kind of going a little bit more, and the goaltending's been holding up as it has been all season, I think that's kind of when you have the recipe for success.
The big deal this year with getting Jacob Trouba to Anaheim, how has he looked and how has he fit in? Because we know that it was pretty contentious with him with the Rangers. Does he fit in kind of seamlessly with this defensive core here in Anaheim?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, when he first came in, Pat Verbeek talked about how it's not every day you can bring in a type of veteran like that, and a leader, especially Jacob Trouba, captain for the New York Rangers for however many years, 3 or 4 years. But he's fit in pretty well. He gets a lot of minutes. He's been playing with Olen Zellweger and Pavel Mintyukov when those two guys have kind of been rotating. He plays a lot on the penalty kill. He's been trusted a lot by Greg Cronin in those high leverage defensive situations, especially when they're trying to defend a lead late in the period or late in the game. Again, the deal itself on paper was fine, but it's just a matter of creating a logjam for the defensive prospects that they have, like Mintyukov and Zellweger. Just because they had Cam Fowler, and that created a bit of a logjam. They brought in Brian Dumoulin. So once Fowler was traded, it looked like the logjam was going to be alleviated a little bit, but bringing in Trouba kind of kept things the same. So it'll be interesting to see this week what they kind of do with Dumoulin. Like they're right there in the mix for the playoffs. And so what they decide to do could kind of give an indication of where they see the rest of the season going.
Derek Lee from the Hockey News joining us here on EST Afternoons. He covers the Anaheim Ducks. Derek Lee, we're approaching trade deadline on Friday. The Oilers got in on the action earlier today, acquiring a couple players from the Boston Bruins and a prospect. A lot of the talk here in Edmonton is goaltender John Gibson. Can you just tell us how his season has been so far this year? I know he's dealt with some injuries. And do you see him being moved by Friday?
Personally, I don't. I think Pat Verbeek has set a really high price, and rightfully so. Gibson's been great this year. Lukas Dostal's been great as well. He was really holding it down early on when Gibson was recovering from that early season appendectomy. When Gibson came back, he's been pretty good. I mean, they got kind of lit up on Saturday against Chicago, but that wasn't Gibson's fault at all. There's a lot of missed defensive coverage. There's a couple breakaways. I think Gibson's been fantastic for whenever he's been healthy, and I know a lot of people talk about how it's tough for him to stay healthy. I think for the most part he's done that, even though he's had a little bit of maybe nagging injuries here and there. But when he's on his game, it's really easy to see why he's one of the best goaltenders in the league, and I think it's easy to understand why a team like Edmonton would kind of be interested in acquiring his services.
Derek, you mentioned that the Anaheim Mighty Ducks they're in an interesting kind of scenario here where they're on the outside looking in for the playoffs. They really have to go on a run here, but there's a lot of young talent on this team. How is Pat Verbeek weighing his options moving forward? Is he looking to possibly make a deal here, or to improve his team to create maybe a better chance of getting some of these young players some playoff experience? Or would you say he's looking more to maybe move on from some veteran players and start and stock the cupboards maybe a little bit more with assets?
It's a really tough read, I would say. They're at a point where the breaking down part is kind of done, and you're getting to the build part of the rebuild, right? At some point, these guys have to start playing meaningful games and start getting into those playoff scenarios, and I think that's where they're at right now. So in order to kind of do that, you have to maybe go out and get a bigger piece, and maybe you have to utilize some of those younger guys, because at some point the previous core, like Troy Terry, he's a little bit older than some of the younger guys like Mason McTavish, Trevor Zukic, for example. At some point, you do need to kind of push these guys and get them into this situation where they're playing meaningful games this late in the season and you're getting into the playoffs, and maybe you go out and you get an impact player, and you have to give to get, and they have a lot of assets in the prospect system, and maybe they can utilize somebody to kind of get a more established player and help them win right now.
Derek, great stuff. Thank you for joining us on game day. Enjoy the game tonight. Should be a fun one down at Rogers Place, and I'm sure we'll chat again.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
That's Derek Lee covering the Anaheim Ducks for the Hockey News. So he threw a little bit of cold water on the John Gibson. And Verbeek's being smart.
Yeah.
I mean, you should ask for a lot.
And I like what he said about the most important part. He didn't say totally, but what I got from it was Verbeek saying, we want our young guys to be playing meaningful games, and they actually are right now, right? So they're still playing these games that mean something and trying to lock down a playoff spot. And they went on a bit of a roll, right? They see the value of stringing a few together, and all of a sudden that cavernous space between making the playoffs and trying to see if you're going to go to World Championships or your season ends sooner is it's enticing. So
for a team like the Ducks to be 6 points out of a wild card spot in early March,
that's crazy.
That's great.
Yeah,
I mean, all it takes is a little bit of a hot streak, and you're good to go, right?
I think I call them the Mighty Ducks. Sorry about that.
It's just the Ducks. Joaquin.
I know.
We say hello to a few of the Winnipeggers, the Hustlerites, the WSTers. Are you guys on Team Huss? Because when the trade broke on the lock shop, we were talking about Dusty was talking about Trent Frederic, and Huss said, "I hate that guy." Do you Winnipeggers feel the same way? Because it looks like he took some liberties with David Gustafson, if I'm not mistaken. Are you on Team Huss? Do you hate Trent Frederic, the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, who will not play for a while as he's still on the IR with ankle injury?
Yeah, looks like it.
So, a little bittersweet. I mean, it's exciting and all that. He's exactly the kind of player the Oilers need, but he won't be around due to some the injury.
Oilers got to have this game tonight, don't you say?
Oh, I mean, they can't lose this game. You can't come off and listen. The Carolina game, sure, they played well. I'll give them that, and they were able to. I mean, they made it hard on themselves, giving up a breakaway shorthanded in the final minute.
It's keeping their goalie alert. That's what
keeping Pickard alert.
Yeah, I wanted to see if you were still awake. That's what guys would say to me when they allowed just a terrible chance against. Oh, you look like you were sleeping. I want to make sure you're in it.
But if they lose tonight, that's an enormous 2 steps backwards for me. It is enormous. They can't lose.
They're
this
30th in the league in goals for, 21st goals against. Their power play is abysmal. They're 31st in the league. Their PK is 73%. Time to feast. It's duck hunting season.
Yeah, they have to go at it. Both teams have won at home already when they've met, but man, the Oilers. You just never know what team's going to show up.
And what did we just talk about when they're all fat and sassy? Are they coming in fat and sassy?
I hope not.
Having soup and bread.
They just won one out of their last 6 games. They shouldn't be feeling anything now.
I know. They should be just ravenous, rabid dogs right now.
And they're saying all the right things in the media. Like, Henrique, we're a veteran group. We know what it takes. Well, show it, man. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it and just show the team you're supposed to be. Like,
come in the hangout and let's talk about it for 2 hours.
Zing. Yeah. The hangout was awesome today with Reed.
Yeah, it was intense.
Reed
it was a nice detour to something different. I actually started looking up Biff Naked. I listened to her back in the day.
Spaceman,
yeah, great
spaceman,
song.
Come rescue me.
Okay, we got enough of that. Oof, not a karaoke here.
I love that song.
Yeah, it was good. You gonna go through these lines? Is Trevor Zegras back today?
Yes.
He's kind of hasn't panned out, hey?
You know what's crazy about Trevor Zegras? We should ask Derek about this, but years ago, I thought he was going to be like a star in this.
Well, he just had everything. He had the personality, but a humble personality.
The cojones.
It was great. He talked about his first. I remember his first face-off against, I think it was Leon.
Yeah.
And gosh, I can't remember exactly how it went, but somehow he mentioned $100 on the draw or whatever, something when they went to face off. You know what he said?
Yeah, and Leon snapped it back before he could even blink.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, well, shucks.
And then didn't Leon say you can't even afford this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. But him telling that story as a young rookie, that you need more of that. You need more personalities. And I know he's probably a little bit more reserved now because things haven't been going so well for him. But it's kind of upsetting to me that he isn't considered one of the top players in the league because there is a ton of skill there.
So in 21-22, he had 61 points, 23 goals. The following year, he had 23 goals again, 65 points, and then Now, in fairness, last year he only played 31 games. This year only 34, but he has fallen off. Like 15 points last year, 16 this year. Is not even close to a point per game. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him. And now it could be the team too. The team's not very good. Doesn't have a lot of skill. Has a lot of young, good players. Leo Carlson, McTavish, Troy Terry, sure. But
we all know how that usually goes, don't we, Oilers fans? When
like, look at Hall, Nuge, Yakubov, Eberle. All of them were, they
What did you think of Hall's game the other night?
For me, he's not even close to the Taylor Hall that we had here and went to New Jersey. He's obviously he's older, but I like he's not even a threat. Like he's out there, he cycles, sure, but like when he has the puck, I'm never like, oh no, Taylor Hall has the puck. You know what I mean?
He was one of those guys that a good skater.
Yeah,
but I thought he's had a long career. Don't get me wrong, but certain guys always had the speed, but he actually looks kind of slow now.
Yeah.
Not slow compared to what I saw before.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely not the same guy. He's not the same guy. Raider Jesse says he sent in his application. All right, we'll take a look at that one.
Scratch.
Chief Andy, I used to be optimistic that from 1 to 3, your brain doesn't operate accordingly, but now I'm a firm believer. Wow. Holy smokes. Okay to disagree, Chief Andy. Holy smokes. You hate Stuart Skinner. We don't. We agree he has to be better. That's all we're saying, brother. Don't leave. We love Chief Andy. He always brings the heat. Gets us going. Gets us riled up on the pre and post game shows as well. I know they love chirping Cass about Skinner. Yeah.
John Carlo goes, Zegers is entertaining to watch during warm-ups. Maybe. What else? I was really good in warm-up. Well, not always, but sometimes it was really good.
You ever play with a guy like that was a really good practice player?
Oh, well, it's the NHL. Like all those guys in the bottom 6, do you think are slugs? You go watch them in practice. Don't do that because then you'll be even more upset with them. How is this guy not scoring 50 goals? Like he's skates like the wind. He's going post, bar, and in every shot.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. It's very frustrating. I think if you were to go and watch and see the actual skill of these guys in practice and how fast it is, you stand up top and you can feel the wind. Like they've moved air. You know how hard it is to move air?
So, like when I was playing soccer, it's called pichanga, which means it's like you're having a game within friends, but there's no rules. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just kind of in the field, and I knew so many guys that were good in that style, but you put them in a game with tactics and a formation, and they're just completely different. Yeah. It's amazing though, Joaquin.
And maybe that's the problem with a lot of young hockey players. Trevor Zegras is kind of in that mold. He's so good, but again, you get the warm-up stuff that he's doing things with the puck, and you're just like...
It's like Robbie Schremp.
You think you're watching Cirque du Soleil, not an NHL game, right?
Robbie Schremp was the same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and warm-ups, remember?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember. I heard he was fantastically skilled hockey player.
Darth Skater says, I can move air.
Not in the right way, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. He ranked higher. Let's see here. Penner's Pancakes. Taylor Hall, 889 games played, 723 points. How do we rank them for a first overall? I mean, that's not bad. It's really good, actually.
I really don't put... I mean, he was a first overall pick, right? So
it was either him or Sagan.
Yeah, and both have had really good careers. Back in the day, I thought that the Oilers would be better suited to take Sagan because he was a natural center.
Who was better, though, when you look at it now?
Sagan.
Yeah.
Way better.
And when that draft was coming up, I was all Team Taylor Hall, man.
I know.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy.
Yeah,
I text my buddy all the time because Carolina Hurricanes would probably go out first round because of Taylor Hall.
Be honest. Be honest. If you're old enough, when it was the Taylor Hall draft, were you Team Taylor or Team Tyler? Be honest. Let us know on the River Korean Box 780-218-9999 or on the Nasty Chat. You were Team Tyler. I was Team Taylor. I think we can all agree Sagan's been a little bit better in his career. Has a cup. Well, does Taylor Hall have a cup? No.
He has a heart.
He has a heart, but Sagan doesn't. But Sagan's been better all around. Like he was like Like, for me, Tyler Seguin was elite. No, because Taylor Hall was too at one point. Was he elite?
No, he was elite. He
had one good year.
He dragged the New Jersey Devils
to the playoffs.
And you cannot.
And they had no business.
They had no, and they just got smacked. But he was. You watch him that season. He was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I'll give him that. But you can't. When you look at the resume, it doesn't make sense. You got a first overall pick, 7 hockey teams. You just there's.
That's a good point.
You don't. If you're
being moved around that much.
If you're a good team guy, people want you, and they hold on to you.
Good point. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse every Oilers game day, like today. Get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light, where you can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. We'll continue the Oilers conversation as we get ready for our last break here on EST Afternoons. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up from 3 to 6, and then it's the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, and myself as we get you set for Oilers Ducks. We're back after the break here on EST Afternoons. Here's Brendan with your sports update.
The Oilers not waiting around for deadline day as they bring in Trent Frederic and Max Jones from the Boston Bruins. The Oilers move out draft picks and prospects to both the Bruins and the Devils, who ate some salary for the remaining year of Frederic's contract. The Oilers are back at home as they welcome the Ducks to Rogers Place. Get set for puck drop with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas right here on EST for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, starting at 6 p.m. 10 other games around the NHL, featuring the Flames wrapping up their road trip in Philly when they face off against the Flyers. The Islanders welcome the Jets, and Pittsburgh travels to Colorado. In the association, there are 9 games, including the Raptors, who are down in Orlando, ready to tip off against the Magic. The Lakers welcome the Pelicans, and the San Antonio Spurs host the Brooklyn Nets. Over to the NFL. The Eagles make Saquon Barkley the highest paid running back in the league on a 2-year extension worth $41.2 million, 36 of that being fully guaranteed. And the Jets have released wide receiver Devontae Adams, who they acquired for a 3rd rounder in October. More Hernan and Gager on the other side of the break. I'm Brendan Eric, and you're up to date.
Two guys and a goalie.
I'll probably watch a lot of Emberson, see how he handles this type of forward check, because as the season goes on, especially come playoff, it gears up to another level where you have to start making decisions a lot quicker. He's going to have to find another level. It's a good place where he's at now. You're going to need more from him.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino. Don't miss the internationally recognized tribute, the Alan Jackson Experience, April 18th at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca
9:47. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Keep hammering that thumbs up on the good old YouTube channel for EST. Hit us up on the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. The interaction has been great today. Of course, it's always... We always get a bump when the Oilers do some transactions, and they did so today. If you missed it, they have acquired Trent Frederic, Max Jones, and Petr Hauser going to, let's see here, going to the New Jersey Devils is unsigned draft choice Shane LaChance. And then going to the Boston Bruins is a second-round pick this year, a fourth-round pick next year, and defensive prospect, Maximus Warner. So if you missed that, that's what the Oilers did today. Now, Trent Frederic is on the IR, and it's expected to miss some time here. Could return before the playoffs, or he could be ready for the playoffs. So a little bit bittersweet, I think, for Oilers fans that won't be able to see the shiny new toy right off the hop here for the Edmonton Oilers. But they are in action, and they need the 2 points. Big favor yesterday. I think Spencer Knight had like 40 saves.
I know, goes
Kings.
in there and lights it up. They needed it.
Yeah.
Imagine an old Panther actually helping out the Oilers. So.
Katie, I was all in on Taylor. Giancarlo, of course, Team Hall, but didn't know how he was a hard party goer for years to come. Wow. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't. Don't look at that. Just look at the stuff on the ice.
A lot of the guys party.
They were all young dudes. That's what they were going to do.
Split says he won the heart. Matt at the Garrison. I was on Team Taylor. Let's see here. K. Elk says he shouldn't have won the heart. McKinnon should have. Hall had like almost 50 more points than the next closest guy. He was most valuable. New Jersey's probably a lottery team without Hall that year. It's true, man. Go look at that roster.
He was wasn't he a lot? What did he finish with that year, points-wise?
Let's look it up.
Because I want to say that wasn't McDavid even higher at that point?
Probably.
But I wasn't a huge fan of Taylor Hall, but that year I thought he should have won the Hart. And I know you always get in that discussion if a guy will finish with the most points or what have you. But MVP is the most valuable person. And you can't tell me with that roster that Hall was working with and that they got into the playoffs. Of course.
93 points that year, one off 40 goals. Caster 1990 says Team Taylor. Yeah, I mean, listen, Taylor had a good career. Unfortunately for him in Edmonton, the teams were bad. You can't really put on him.
He needed veteran guidance. I think Matt Hendricks came in a little bit too late.
He got one playoff year in, right?
Hall did?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Because I think his last year was the last year at Rexall.
Yeah, and then he got traded in that summer, then that following year, the Oilers made the playoffs for the first time in forever.
Yeah, and if you really remember correctly, everyone was upset because Chiarelli traded for Larson, and the first year in Rogers, Edmonton Oilers make the playoffs. No one talked about the Hall trade that year. But then the following year, Edmonton goes right into the pooper. Hall wins a Hart Trophy, and then it all, what are we doing?
Yeah, of course. Raider Jesse says, I wanted Sagan because of center.
Yeah,
Rob from LA says the same thing.
That's what I thought.
Raider Jesse says, I also wanted Landeskog over Nuge and Galchenyuk over Yakubov. Laugh out loud. Yeah,
What?
hey, man. I mean, to each their own, right?
Yeah, you don't know, right? Like, look, you can only sometimes in the 5th round, 109th overall, lightning strikes.
And Taylor Hall was an excellent player. He was an excellent player. Like I said, here in Edmonton, he was just on some horrible.
Matt Hyman, I think, referring to Taylor Hall. He's no Yakupov.
Zing.
That's a lot of first overall picks, though.
Oh, man. Well, you got to think, Nuge went first overall. He's not your typical first overall pick.
He's coming out of junior, he is.
No, I know, but the NHL resume doesn't show that he's lived up to it. He's a hell of a player, but he's not you can.
I think he does.
I don't like Taylor Hall. Yes, sure.
Has Taylor Hall ever had 100 points in a season?
No, 93 is his highest.
Yeah. So,
but that's what I mean. Like outside of McDavid, like all their first overall picks were never the elite of the elite, like a lot of teams get, right? Like they become their best player. You know what I mean? Because, like,
I know what you're saying, but I think you have McDavid sunglasses on. Just because you're first overall, I don't think you can be an integral part of the team. Like Landeskog. Landeskog was second overall?
Yeah. No, but I mean, if we look at all the first overall picks, I think we could tier them. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I think Nuge, Taylor Hall, obviously Nail Yakupov's way at the bottom of that. He's a bust. But I don't think you'd have Nuge or Hall in the upper echelon of the best first round picks.
Oh, of like over the past since their draft year? If you
Or
were to
whenever.
go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to look at the list. I'd like to see something for later.
Do these guys read chat? Yes. My cousin just got traded here from Boston. Go Edmonton from Porter. Who's your cousin, brah? There's 3 players, so it could be any of them. Zach says Sagan is better than Hall. Scheifele is better than Nuge.
Ooh.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that too.
So
he's been a more consistent offensive player, I think. Nuge is good though. Like
yeah, but
he's having an off year. Scheifele's on fuego right now. Trent Frederic?
Oh, really?
Really?
Good stuff. Is this for real, Porter? Or are you just joshing us?
It's his cousin?
Giancarlo Aikens ruined Yakubov. Hey, I wanted to get to this quickly. I wish we had more time, but with the Oiler trade, we just kind of had to go all in. 31 years ago, the great John Candy passed away at the age of 43. Favorite movie? Favorite moment?
With John Candy?
Yeah.
Too many to mention, but the first one that comes up is the Great Outdoors, the old 96er. That's great.
Plane, Trains, and Automobile.
I've never watched it.
What?
I know, it's surprising.
Wow. Never thought I'd be disappointed in you. Uncle Buck, classic.
Oh, gosh.
Cool Runnings, he was good. Summer Rental, Spaceballs.
Yeah.
He was in Home Alone. You know, the movie he's in that I think people sometimes forget is Vacation. He's a security guard.
Oh, he's a security guard, yeah. He goes on the ride with him.
Yeah. Who's Harry Crumb?
Mm-hmm.
He was a beauty.
Yeah.
Absolute beauty.
Canadian Bacon. I think that was his last one.
Canadian Bacon? Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Wish we would have got more to it, but I like how we went on this full Taylor Hall discussion. I love it. And that's what EST Afternoon brings you.
Yeah.
I had to ask you in the break, how did we get onto Taylor Hall conversation?
I know.
I asked you how he looked in Carolina. I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was 71, the number one.
Yeah.
Like when he was skating around, I'm like, who's 71? Oh, that's Taylor Hall.
Yeah. Guess you're not using 4.
Easy E. Vanacek being held out for trade reasons. Is he an Oiler?
Vanacek.
Is that real? We got to get going here, but
Yeah.
I want to make sure this is
Reed's pacing and looking at
Yeah,
this.
it's true. Being held out for trade purposes, $3.4 million cap hit. Now, if you think Vanacek's going to improve the Oilers, I don't know what to tell you. If you're going to if you want someone other than Scooter
Oiler
Skinner, get a
fans-
better goalie.
Oiler fans want everybody.
Yes, they do. All right, we got to get going here. Thank you to Derek Lee for joining us, and to you. You guys were awesome listening, watching, hitting the thumbs up, interacting with us on the River Cree inbox and on the Nasty Chat. You guys were outstanding. Tomorrow we'll break it down with highlights, lowlights. We'll have Hernan's World, and we'll have a fun guest for you as well. Keep it locked here. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up next for 3 hours. They got you covered. More Oilers on the way. For Joaquin Gage and Brendan Eric, I'm Hernan Salas saying enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the game, and we'll chat later. Ciao.